Hi everybody. In this video, we are going to discuss about the classification of audit on the basis of continuity. On the basis of continuity, auditing is classified into four. First one is continuous audit, second one is complete audit, third one partial audit, and fourth is auditing in depth. Let us see in detail what are the different classifications on the basis of continuity. First one is continuous audit. A continuous audit is one in which the auditor visits his client's office at regular or irregular intervals throughout the year to verify the accounts. And the objective of this accountant or the auditor may be to get the final account audited immediately after the closure of accounting year, and another one objective is when the business is very large, it will be very difficult for them to continuous or to check it at a time. So a continuous audit is done in case of very large business organizations when internal control system is into effective. When the internal control system to make the internal control system to an effective one, and continuous audit is done when regular or final accounts are required. So this continuous audit means it is an auditing done in which the auditor will visit the client's office in a regular manner or in an irregular interval of time throughout the year to verify the account. So continuously, if an auditing is done, then we call it as continuous audit. And the main aim of continuous audit is to get the accounts audited immediately after the closing of accounting year, and it is also done in a very large business organization to make the auditing work easier, and also done to make the internal control system more effective. And some of the advantages of continuous audit is a detailed checking can be done, detection of errors and frauds can be done in a very short period of time or at the earlier, and a moral check will be there in the auditing works or in the accounting procedures. Preparation of final accounts can be done very easily, and interim account can be prepared in before preparing the final accounts, and technical details can be done known, and the planning of auditors work can be done easily, and there will be accuracy in the books of accounts of the company. So these are some of the advantages of continuous auditing. First one, it involves detailed checking. Detection of fraud can be done most earlier, and moral check will be there. Final accounts can be prepared easily. If required, an interim account can be prepared, and technical details and auditing works can be planned easily, and also an accuracy in the books of accounts will be there. And some of the disadvantages of auditing include alteration of figures and threat of work lost, and work will be disturbed, mechanical work will be there, it depends on audit staff, and it is also expensive. So in order to prevent the fraud, or in order to mm, close the fraud or not to disclose the fraud, and alterations will be done in the figure. So this is one of the disadvantage of continuous auditing. And sometimes if it is found that a particular employee is doing mistakes, then there will be a thread of work lost, and if continuous auditing is done, they have to run back of the auditor to give the explanations and to show the books of accounts, etc. So the regular work will be disturbed, and a mechanical work will be involved in it, and the efficiency or the accuracy of auditing depends upon the auditing staff, and to do a continuous auditing, it is very expensive also. So these are some of the advantages and disadvantages of continuous audit. And the next is some precautions that can be taken for continuous auditing, and the auditor should record important balances, totals, etc., and verify the same in the next visit to see whether any frauds have been occurred or not. And strict instructions should be given prohibiting the alteration of figures after checking by the auditor. And for each visit, special ticks should be used, and it is always better to verify the nominal account at the end of the year, and an exhaustive audit program must be prepared, and he should ensure that normal working is not affected. As far as possible, he should pay surprise visits also. So these are some of the precautions that can be taken in order to make continuous audit an effective one. And next auditing is complete audit. So, as the name implies, audit of each and every transaction entered in the books of account is known as complete audit. In this, the auditor will check all the transactions in the books of accounts with supporting documents. And this complete audit involves checking, posting, casting, checking the posting, casting, balancing, etc. And such audit is done where accounts have been previously or where accounts have not been previously audited. So this is the complete audit, looking after or doing auditing in each and every transaction that is entered in the books of account is known as complete audit. And the third one is partial audit. Sometimes the audit may be asked to conduct audit only for some records or books or or in the part of the year or the whole of the year. So this is known as partial audit. If a complete checking is not done, then it is known as partial audit. Example, an auditor may be asked to audit only the receipt side of the cash book. So he is verifying only the receipts of the cash book. So this is known as a partial audit. But such audit is not proper. It is not. We cannot say that it is a proper auditing. However, in case of sole proprietorship or partnership concerns, it can be done. Such audit is undertaken when owner suspects that frauds have been committed in certain books. If he finds that a fraud has been done in cash book, then he will be asking the auditor to check only the cash book. So this is known as the partial audit. And the last one is audit in depth. So audit in depth means this implies that few transactions are selected at random and they are thoroughly checked through its stages from the origin to conclusions. And it includes not only examining the documents but also verify that the system of internal check in operation is effective before restoring to random or selective checking of the transaction. First of all, they should verify whether the system is effective, and then they can imply audit in depth. In case of audit in depth, only few transactions are selected in a random way, and those selected transactions are audited in depth. And some of the stages included in audit in depth is requisition from the shopkeeper or requisition from the company. They will be requesting, the company will be requesting for in-depth audit, and analysis of quotation from the supplier. Sometimes the supplier may be asking for in-depth audit, and the purchase order issued by the purchase department, the entries made for the transactions of above matters, the report regarding the quality of goods, entry made by the shopkeeper regarding the goods received, checking the relevant invoices and entries in the financial books with the goods received documents or purchase order. So this is the stages of the in-depth audit. First, the shopkeeper or the company will be requesting, and an analysis of quotation from the supplier will be checked, and after purchase order issued by purchase department will be checked, and entries made in the transaction will be checked, and a report regarding the quality of goods will be made, and entry made by the shopkeeper regarding the goods received will be checked, and they will be checking all the relevant invoices and entries in the financial books with the help of receipts, documents or purchase order, etc. So these are the different types of classification of auditing on the basis of continuity. On the basis of continuity, auditing is classified into four: continuous audit, complete audit, partial audit and auditing in depth. Thank you all for listening to me.